Something big is about to happen, my friends. This is Tony. Hope you're all doing well. We're going to get into actually a number of stories in this video. Something that just happened, I'm sure is going to cause a lot of things. This is big. Okay, and I'm going to get into it in a little bit. We're going to get into actually a number of stories in this video. We're going to get into Tom Cruise, something he just did. We're going to get into what's going on with Ellen DeGeneres over there in Europe. We're going to get into actually a number of other things that are going on around us. Also, the Pope. Something about his brother that you're going to definitely want to hear. And also, if you didn't already see it on my other channel, there's a prediction about him that came true as well. We'll get into that as well. You have this clip here. This is very interesting. This is the Pope's brother. Check out what he had to say. Happened when he was younger.
I don't know how many people find it interesting, but when he was in first grade, a woman across the street that we used to play with the kids, and a woman down the street said he would be the first American Pope. In first grade, they said that.
First grade?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
A random woman told him he would be the Pope?
Well, they were neighbors. We knew them. But okay. Yes, he knew at that age he was going to be a priest.
Oh, goodness gracious, man. So some neighbor lady told the Pope when he was in first grade he was going to be the Pope, the first American Pope. That's kind of interesting. That seems pretty prophetic to me. You know what I mean? She somehow knew it. Maybe God had revealed it to her. Maybe the dude is a dark horse. Maybe he's a little bit better than we're thinking. There is a prophecy I'm going to play now that might be about him. This is from Kim Clement. Check this out.
The Spirit of God shall fall in buildings of rock and stone. It shall fall in places where they least believed it. I will cause chaos, and I will say to them, now I will take people by the hundreds of millions and share my spirit with them.
Okay, he's going to say more here, but I just thought of something. I'm going to tell it after this. Check this out. We'll just listen to the rest.
For I will raise up a man that shall continue, and they will say in the beginning, he won't be able to do it. But there shall be an experience after 33 days, and a raising up and a resurrection. And a spirit-filled Pope that will raise up a voice, and he shall speak the truth. And they will say, we must get him out of the way. But rejoice this day, for there are deaths of many great leaders.
Ooh, oh my goodness. Am I seeing something here, my friends? Am I seeing something? Could this Pope be like our president, like actually cares about the truth, actually wants to do the right thing? Could he actually be a believer? Could he actually reveal what's been going on? All the corruption in the Vatican. Could he be the one who actually releases a number of documents? Because there's a prophecy about documents being released. He talks about here the deaths of many great leaders. In this prophecy, there's also a prophecy from another year, another time, of Kim Clement talking about many shall fall in the fall. 33 days from now, what would that be? That'd be in June, mid-June. Could that be the beginning of it? There's also a prophecy from Mark, Taylor, where he says that the last Pope will be the last Pope, not for the reasons people think, but perhaps because of all the darkness that will be revealed. And after everyone learns about it, they won't want to be a part of it anymore. And that's why Pope Francis was the last one in essence, because I don't think he is literally going to be the last one, but I'm thinking it's going to bring everything out in the open. I don't know. This is a weird way to look at it. Maybe this is what's going on, because apparently his brother's totally a good Catholic from what it looks like. And I guess I'm wondering if this guy's like a dark horse pretending to be like one of them, and then he actually is one of us. We'll see what happens here.
Because it is necessary so that I can raise up a new generation of men and women that will go into the marketplace and raise up the name of Yahweh.
Interesting. Of course, this was from Brandon's channel here. I don't agree with everything Brandon puts out, but he puts out some really good stuff. He's had some predictions come true. Not a bad dude. He's got some good stuff here and there. Kim Clement got good stuff as well. I mean, there's a lot of good guys out there. They don't have everything correct. I don't have everything correct. You know what I mean? But we're just postulating here. Could this Pope be the one that releases things, books that have been hidden for many, many hundreds of years? That's a good question, because there is a prophecy that that's going to occur very soon here. Maybe he's the guy that makes it happen. I even had a dream about it. I've talked about it before. It was like 2 years ago. At any rate, of course, in the Malachi prophecy, you had Pope Benedict right here. And then you had Pope Francis would have been one of the interim popes. It talks about here many analysis of the prophecy. Note that is open to interpretation that additional popes would come between Glory of the Olive and Peter the Roman. I don't think the current pope is Peter the Roman. There is a man who is a cardinal that is very popular that almost became pope, whose name is literally Peter in Latin, and he's literally from Italy, Rome, Peter the Roman. And he's very popular, and he almost won. So maybe he'll be the next one after this guy, or however that works. I don't know what will happen, but it's interesting. We're getting near the end with that whole thing. Of course, Christ, coming back, I think will be very soon as well. Check this out. We'll start off with this here. Ellen DeGeneres, apparently now living at large over there in the UK, mowing the lawn, going fishing, things of that nature. Apparently she doesn't look anything like she used to. Her hair actually looks dark there. Wow. Living large there, as you can see. Of course, where did she live before? Of course, she had to get out of here because a certain person got in. She used to live in a $70 million oceanfront estate. Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi together, of course, in sprawling land, as you can see there, with oceanfront view, Santa Barbara. Of course, moving from there to Europe so she can mow lawns, apparently, and looking a little bit different. Doesn't have the blonde hair anymore, and not exactly looking a little bit older than she used to, just a wee bit. Of course, you can see here starting to show those wrinkles a little bit more. Obviously not looking like she used to as much. Of course, some are saying that Mike Myers actually looks to be similar to her. I don't know what happened to Mike Myers. He looks so different as well. Apparently he's taken on the blonde hair from Ellen DeGeneres while she took on his black hair. I guess that's what happened. Some are saying he's a lesbian here now. Yes, of course, I saw him recently on SNL. Mike Myers saying he's standing with Canada, and it's not for sale. As you can see here, Ellen DeGeneres used to look a little bit different back in the old days. Just a wee bit. And, of course, some are saying maybe she doesn't have as good as she used to here. I wonder why she left. Oh, that's right. There's a court case going on right now with the Didmeister. Could that have something to do with it? I don't know, man. It's kind of weird. You have here, of course, the Pope's brother. And we're going to get into a prediction about the Pope that came true. Maybe this dude is a dark horse. Maybe he is actually better than I thought he was. This is kind of interesting looking at his brother here, who's been making the rounds talking about the Pope. And, of course, he is a fan of our president and lives in Florida. As you can see here, that's the same last name. So, of course, he's talking about how people have some of that derangement, of course, syndrome. And also talking against other things and saying if you're distraught, there's places you can go for that after the win. So it is interesting, he's posting all this stuff. And here's the Pope, the new Pope. Here's his brother. And a lot of people are talking about this now. So maybe the guy actually isn't what he at first appears to be. Maybe he did this on purpose. And I actually postulated that in one video. I think it was my last video, actually. I said, you know what? Look, why would he have to hide his cards? Why would he have to hide his opinions unless he's trying to get up high? in the hierarchy. And maybe he just doesn't want anybody to really know what he thinks about stuff because he's got good opinions. And those at the top are not going to put something like that in there unless they're duped into it. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Hopefully, I guess we should be a little bit hopeful, right? Then, of course, we have this Pakistan-India thing. Apparently, it's over, or at least it seems to be over. I guess we'll see how that turns out. And you have some of these huge streamers like Hassan Piker, who seemingly always stands with the side, where the Muslims are, even if they're in the wrong. It's just kind of amazing seeing some of these streamers talking about this. So it appears to be over. I guess we'll see if it truly is or not as the days go ahead. But we're going to get into, like I said, a ton of stuff. We're going to talk about these potential black, of course, outs, these power outages. They're coming to Europe because they're already telling us they're going to. They just put out an article about this. We'll get into that. We also saw what happened a week ago. I think it was a week or 2 weeks. I think it was a week ago. Spain, Portugal, Italy. I think it was North Italy. And some other country, no power for the day. And I talked about what happened and how they're trying to go green, net carbon emissions. And so now we're going to get into an article about that next. We're going to talk about Billy Boy, the computer guy. Apparently, a number of things coming out on him. If you don't know who I'm referring to this guy right here. This man used to be in charge of a computer company. We'll get into that in a second. Actually, a ton of other things. We got some interesting predictions coming true. We're going to get into this whole thing about the Pope and much more. First, I'm going to mention Food Supply, 25-year shelf life. Link is in the description. 3 months worth for $4.97. You're going to definitely want to get that if you have not already. Link is in the description. Cheapest price ever since I've started doing this. The lowest price before this was like $5.29. This is insane pricing. I mean, you might want to be prepared for whatever's next. You never know what's next. They want a world WAR, especially after what our president just did. Oh, that's right. I'm going to talk about that too. That's a huge story. I almost forgot about that one. That's kind of big. Yeah, he kind of unaligned from someone. Yeah, and it's like a really big one once you understand who it is and what this could turn into. Like I said, we'll get into that. But go check that out. You might want to buy that. Link is in the description and this book here. The Lost Ways, how your great-great-grandfather lived without electricity, how to build a cellar, do things around the house like they did in the good old days, hundreds of pages illustrated. You're going to definitely want to get that book if you have not already. Get the printed version, $37. Get link is in the I can't talk. Anyway, let's get on with the video. So, of course, our president has unaligned from this man here, Benjamin. And apparently, this is what they're saying. There's been some articles coming out about this, even some publications from over there in the Middle East saying this as well. And I think this is bigger than a lot of people realize because there's a lot of sway from their side. Let's just put it that way. And apparently they're having sort of a disagreement about what to do with, Iran. This is apparently what's caused this entire thing to occur. We'll see what happens as the days go ahead. But I kind of feel like this is kind of bigger than people realize. And I'm wondering what's going to happen as a result of it. Well, I guess we'll see, right? Because I don't think this has really ever happened. Not really. Usually they have pretty good relations. So I'm curious. And I think because there are people, of course, at the top that have, of course, connections here as well. It's an interesting thing to look into. I guess we'll see what happens. But at any rate, so there's that. But looking at Britain, they're talking about they could face months-long blackouts because of net zero. Grid operator has raised concerns that the switch from dependable gas to intermittent wind and solar power will reduce network stability. We were talking about this. Actually, that's literally what happened with Spain and Portugal, is that they had less ability to deal with spikes, power spikes, and that's why the whole entire thing went down. So them trying to go all green here is not really sustainable. Ironic. That's an ironic way to put it. Because don't they say we need to be sustainable? It's not really sustainable, literally. I mean, the other use of the word, the actual original use, it's not sustainable because it ain't going to work. So they might end up having a lot of power, of course, outages there. I guess we'll see what happens. But we also had what happened a week ago, and literally their power also almost went off at the same time, by the way. I think it was a week ago. April 29th, what is that? Okay, a week and a half. UK hit with unexplained power failures hours before Spain, Portugal. Yeah, it almost happened already once. This is from Newsweek. So they're going to be having some fun with their power in the near future. Some may wonder, of course, if that is tied into some of these other stories, like them trying to dim, of course, the sun, which they got the green light on. Let me show you that one first, I guess. Where is that at? I was skipping around here. Oh, and we got another story about Billy Boy, too. Let me show you this first, though. Experiments to dim, of course, the sun. Get green lights in the UK. And, of course, this all started 3 years ago with this guy bringing it out, wanting to get it done. Of course, I've talked about the science. NASA's literally debunked this. NASA, of all places, put out a study showing that actually when you have more solar radiation, it actually cools the planet because the plants grow more and suck up all the energy. So it's kind of funny, actually, because if there's more plants, there's more coolness because you can be under the shade or whatever you want to call it. I don't know how it works. It apparently makes it cooler on the earth. So dimming the sun, you may think this is actually a good idea, but actually technically it will probably make it warmer because there will be less vegetation. Less vegetation will actually make the earth hotter. Now there might be a point where if you really dimmed it, like kind of like the movie The Matrix, where it's like literally dark out all the time. Okay, then it'll be cooler. Right? There won't be any plants left, right? So I guess it depends on how you want it. At any rate, of course, Billy Boy has a civil trial coming up here in Europe this year in November. Maybe this is why he gave away all his money, or says he did. Again, you remember he used to say that all the time. He said, oh yeah, I gave away all my money. But what he really meant is he gave it to his own foundation, which, by the way, he just closed. Maybe he made a new one because, of course, the one he just closed was getting money from us, the taxpayer, and he doesn't want to be held liable. So he closes that corporation. It's a separate entity from him so that he has less liability. Oh, look at me. I'm so clever. I'm a little snake. I'm Billy Boy the computer snake. And I think I'm so clever. And I'm going to pretend like I'm helping people. Oh, I'm a philanthropist. Giving money out to people. Really? I don't believe you, dude. Apparently he has the same personality type as me. INTP, although probably not a good one, as you can imagine. So, yeah, so he's going to be going to court. We have here RFK talking about it. It has to do with that one pokey thing. Yeah, so a lot of people didn't like what he was doing last few years. And now it's catching up to him, so he thinks he can just close his foundation now. Wash my hands of that. I'm okay now. Except for you're still getting sued anyways. You're still sued anyways. And, of course, what else is going on in the UK currently? We had this story just come out as well. Let me show you this one. This one looks really nice. Retired police officer. Apparently they have thought, of course, crimes there now. He tweeted something. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no, a retired policeman. I mean, they got the most ridiculous stories coming out of there now. I mean, they got like doors being kicked in on grandma while she's watching her old school TV, like the tube ones. What did I do? Oh, you wrote something on Facebook. You're going to have to come with us now to the precinct, Granny. This is the kind of stuff they do there now. It's so wholesome, of course. You have Tom Cruise apparently smart enough not to destroy his career, unlike most of these Hollywood people. Tom Cruise sidesteps talk about tariffs at Mission Impossible press stop. We'd rather answer questions about the movie. The dude's smart. Okay, he's a smart guy. Of course, he was in that one movie, Eyes Wide, of course, Shut. Probably knows a few things. Probably not good. But at least he's smart enough to know not wise to talk against the president and not wise to get into politics. Smarter than the average Joe in Hollywood, at least, right? So you got that going on. You have, of course, the cost of Disney World these days is insane. Apparently, one day, about $1,400 for a meal. I mean, one of the meals was like $250 for his family. I think he has like 2 kids. Like, what the hell? $250? I guess it's possible. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it's Disney World, right? It's just prices have gotten insane. I remember going there a million years ago, and it was a lot cheaper than that. I can tell you that right now. But at any rate, I've heard of other people saying they went there for like 10 days or a week with their family, and it was like $10,000, $20,000, It's like, oh, that sounds fun. I don't think I'd want to go. That sounds really expensive. At any rate, so there's that. But we have a few more things. We have, of course, these tariffs that are really working out well so far. The first major deal with the UK was a win-win on our side, big time. Essentially, all the tariffs against America, around 28%, are down to 10%. So now we can sell into the UK. And the tariff we had for the UK selling into America is staying the same, 10%. It's 10 versus 10. Even playing field. This will mean that we'll be able to sell cars into the UK now and other things, whatever we make here that's popular. And of course, American brands are going to be popular all across the world, whatever you end up making. So there is going to be a massive rise in the GDP in the years ahead, assuming this all continues to go this direction. And the fact that he pulled off such a great deal makes me really optimistic as to what he's going to pull off with China and all these other countries. It's looking really good. And just to show you how he deals with these people, he manhandles these people. You got Carney here who was talking big game before he had this meeting with our president. Check this out.
Tariffing cars.
Tariffing Canada. Is there anything he could say to you in the course of your meetings with him today that would get you to lift tariffs on Canada?
No.
Why not?
Just the way it is.
Did you see that? He tried to get a hand in on there. This is from Clinton Jaw's channel. He's a Canadian dude. At any rate, you can go check out his channel. But it's just funny, man. He's like, wait a second. These guys actually did business before, by the way. Carney and our president used to be, at one point in time, had some sort of business deal at one time. Many, many years ago. They know each other. But our president just gives them the cold shoulder. I ain't going to let you talk at all, bro. No respect. All right. Although he does this thing. He has this thing. Our president does this thing where he tells you all these respectful things. Right in the beginning of this, he's like, actually, I think I got the clip here. He compliments him. Right? Check this out.
Congratulate you and ran a really great race. I watched the debate. I thought you were excellent. And I think we have terrible. A lot of things in common. We have some
he lost the debate.
Tough points to go over, and that'll be fine.
Mr. President, you have said... You see how he does that? Like, he'll compliment you, and it's not a compliment. This is called white-collar jabs, right? Like, he's like a black belt at these white-collar jabs, man. Like, he'll compliment you, and sometimes it actually literally sounds like a compliment, but then later he'll just, like, totally cold shoulder you. And he's really good at it, man. He's really good at it. He's very serious about what he's doing. And apparently Besant is learning this as well. Besant, who of course is a little bit of a stiff, even he's got some jokes. Even he knows how to play this game a little bit.
And who was the president in 2024?
One believes President Biden.
One believes? You one of those non-believers that the American people didn't vote?
I am not.
You're not? You said one belief?
Dude, look at his face. He's just totally laughing, smiling.
Do you believe in the Constitution of the United States and it should be abided
I believe in the Constitution of the United States.
So you believe it?
He's got the trolling down. He's learned from the master, man. He's learned from the master. At any rate, that's my video. I kind of want to know what some of you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.